Hakuna Matata, Nandei Hibikinanda. Hakuna Matata, no messaggi senza pensieri. La tua vita sarà a chi vorrà vivrà in libertà. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata, che cosa è? Nothing, what's the matter with you? Weißt du, Kleiner? Diese 2 Wörter lösen alle deine Probleme. Genau, nimm Pumpo zum Beispiel. Verás, cuando era muy pequeñín, cuando era muy pequeñín. Muy bonito, gracias. Notó que su aliento no le olía muy bien, los demás deseaban alejarse de él. Me dolió no tener un amigo fiel, un Own igual. Was für ein igual? Sie war katastrophal. Ach nein, so ein Skandal. Und das ewige Hupen, sag uns nochmal von den Ständigen. No, Bumba, ni prejudieka. Oi, ferlo. Hakuna Matata, dirte somebra. Hakuna Matata, Tiantang rong ishi, xian sai kai shu. Você deve esquecer, isso é beber e aprender. Hakuna Matata. En français maintenant, ça mot signifie que tu vivras ta vie sans aucun souci. Philosophie, Hakuna Matata. How much of it did you all understand? I am not sure if you all understood the words, but I am extremely sure you enjoyed the rhythm, the fun, the words, or something beyond words. I am Amrutha Langs, and people often ask me, how many languages do you speak? I smile and I give a number. So, ich kann auf etwas 27 Sprachen sprechen. 22 परकीय, आपल्या 4 आणि इंग्रजी अशा 27. Interestingly, what people never ask me is, in how many languages can you listen, or in how many ways can you listen? I am an educator and a career coach. And one thing that languages have taught me is really powerful. Listening. What is a language? My feelings reaching you, your feelings reaching me. पुणेरी भाषेत सांगायचं तर भावना पोहोचवणं हेच तर आहे भाषेचं काम. Let me elaborate further. As kids, so बचपन में, when we were going to kindergarten, singing all nursery rhymes. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Sat is the past tense. And had a great fall. Had is also past tense. Sat on the wall, so on is preposition. Really? Did we understand all of that when we were toddlers? No. All that we understood though is, there is this character named Humpty Dumpty who is trying to sit on the wall and who's having a great fall, and we did have great fun singing that song or any other nursery rhymes. What I am trying to tell you here is, languages do exist beyond grammar, don't they? Let me elaborate further. I'm sure you all know this image. Once in my classroom, when I was teaching Japanese, I had given an activity to translate. But translate what? Translate something beyond textbooks. Translate Hindi movie dialogues in Japanese language. Now there's this student who stands and he goes like, I want to translate the most legendary line in Japanese. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And he goes like, Samba-san, nani ni hito ka aimashita ka? The other one stood up and said, futari desu yo sama. Futari ka? To anata gata wa 3 nin ne. The entire classroom filled with laughter. It was that very moment when the language stopped being just a subject. It became something beyond that 100 marks question paper. The moment when the student said, "Arey o Samba, kitne aadmi the?" The class filled with laughter. Japan met culture. Japan met Bollywood. Culture met, I don't know what, fun, humor. It is in these very moments that we understand language learning is beyond those examinations. And beyond examinations, beyond grammar. And then there is something beyond translations. Let's take, for example, a Japanese word. One more Japanese example for you. Japanese word komorebi. Komorebi means sunlight filtering through leaves. Now it's not sunlight, it's not leaves, it's sunlight filtering through leaves. Now if I go to translate such a beautiful word in any other language, I think so, I don't know. I mean, would we really do justice to that word? Just like the Hindi word जुगाड़, किसी भी भाषा में आप वो भाषांतरित करने का प्रयत्न करें, I don't think we would do justice to that word जुगाड़, because जुगाड़ हिंदी में कहने में जो मजा है वो हिंदी में ही है. Just like German word Augenblick, or let me give you a more familiar word which probably you all must have heard, Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude means taking pleasure in someone else's sadness. Or Augenblick means, in English, Augenblick means in a fraction of a second, alright? But in German, it is, Augen is eyes and Blick is blink. So in Hindi, we say palak jhapakte hi. That's the nearest translation you could have. What I'm trying to tell you here is that these are not simply words, but these words are so associated, so much associated with the culture, the people, the whole system, that they go beyond translations. Just like, if you ask a Russian person to tell you the word for snow, he will give you like an exhaustive list for snow. That's pure geography, right? And either in Marathi, you would have बाहेर पडतोय तो बर्फ, फ्रीज मधला पण बर्फ. But in Russian, you would have more than probably 27 words, right? Just Berioza is an emotion. It's not just geography, it's emotion. Berioza means the birch tree. Beerlea berioza is the white birch tree. If you ask a Russian, it is not just the white birch tree. It is an emotion that goes beyond that simple word. Beerlea berioza podmoim achanom, prianakrialas sniegom, tochna siri brom, na pushistich vietkak sniežnuju kayumoju, raspustili skisti, bielai bachramoi, astaits. Don't worry, I'm not going to recite an entire Russian poetry. What I'm trying to tell you here is that these poetries, culture, food, music, all these things are beyond translations. And truly, learning languages gives us a new vision. Many times there are things that are right in front of us, but with learning new languages, we start to look at those things in a different way. Languages teach us inclusivity. Languages teach us inclusivity, and languages give us our identity. We all will agree, identity as in our mother tongue. And we all respect and love our mother tongue. And yes, that is how it should be. But sometimes, knowingly, unknowingly, intentionally, unintentionally, we end up loving, respecting, caring about our mother tongue by putting someone else's language, tongue, or dialect down. Unknowingly, unintentionally, but it does happen. Let me give you a very Marathmoli example. आम्ही की नाही पोळी म्हणतो, चपाती इज व्हेरी अशुद्ध. आणि पाणी तांदळाच्या गोणी उचलायच्या कुणी, तुनी की मिनी. Oh, that's very घाटी Marathi. That's not Marathi. This is Shuddha, Ashuddha. Really, who gives us this authority to put languages in some sort of hierarchy? Language is not a museum artifact. Languages are alive. They live with us. They evolve with us. Languages belong in the textbook as much as they evolve on streets. Imagine you being at a sabzi mandi. Yeah. You being at a sabzi mandi and saying, भैया वो कांदा बटाटा कैसे दिया और वो सीताफल वो कितने का. Now that Bombaya Hindi is so ingrained in us that tomorrow if you go to the vendor and say, भाई साहब ये जरा आलू और प्याज के दाम बताइए जरा, और वो शरीफा, जी हाँ शरीफा, there's no सीताफल, it's शरीफा the custard apple. But if you ever say this so-called pure Hindi in front of that sabzi vendor, that bhaji wala, I'm sure the bhaji wala will know you're not from around here. He'll take you for a ride because he'll be like, हाँ ठीक है मैम यहाँ से नहीं है, साहब यहाँ से नहीं है, right? The languages evolve on streets. Every time you fold, you roll up your sleeves, you're getting down at Dadar station. अरे मध्ये कशाला उभा आहेस, उतरायचं नाही तर बाजूला हो ना. It's growing there. That is the real language. You know, let's call this a phenomena, okay? These big words sound very good. So let's call it the phenomena. Pula Deshpande, P.L. Deshpande has described this phenomena, like we are calling it, in a very beautiful way in his book, Mumbaikar, Punekar, Nagpurkar. Pula Deshpande here states that Mumbaichi Marathi hi Anglotbhav hai. That means Mumbai's Marathi has influence of English over it. पुण्याची मराठी ही संस्कृतोद्भव आहे आणि नागपूरच्या मराठीवर तर हिंदीचा प्रभाव आहे. There's nothing pure or impure about it. It's pure geography. It's pure influence of the things that are happening around you. Tell me something. Every day after school, after college, after work, when you go home and you say, you know what, आज काय झालं? Or when you call your friend and say, एक गम्मत सांगू तुला, you know, that thing to gossip. Or every time you come home and आई बाबा से चल हात पाय धू, गरम गरम जेवायला बस. Or every time आजी आजोबा से sing songs or narrate stories. Or I'm sure you all must have heard, मिरची, लिंबू, कोथिंबीर, आलं यांचं एकदा भांडण झालं. कशावरून? एवढ्याशा खोबऱ्याच्या तुकड्यावरून. आई आली पदर खोचून, सगळ्यांना काढले ठेचून. त्याची केली सुरेख चटणी ठेवली बशीत, सगळे जेवले खुशीत. Now what is all this? Is this just a story, a song, an idiom, a proverb, a what? No. This is cultural memory that gets passed on from one generation to another and to future generations. And trust me, in this age of AI, this EI and HI, emotional intelligence and human intelligence, is needed. In this age of AI, where machines are learning faster than us humans. And machines are learning what? Machines are learning the human languages faster than ever. It is time for us humans to relearn something more powerful, something that is probably lost, the lost art of listening. You know what? Conversations, they create communication. Communication creates connection. And connection, that can't be built by speaking alone, right? Now, speaking is a skill. Listening, on the other hand, that's intent. Listening is saying, I'm here for you, with open-mindedness, without any distractions. I am here for you. I'm letting you in my world. That's respect. That's listening. And, you know, especially in the age of AI and this age of perfection, where we are so focused on the perfect pronunciations, the perfect accents, it is important to also note that it is needed, you know, that effort is needed to put into what? to listen to the imperfect human behind those words. So today, I'm not asking you to speak a lot of languages. I am asking you to feel a lot of languages, because maybe, just because, the most powerful language in the world is not spoken at all. Maybe it is felt. And that is why I want to tell you all to listen. Let's all make listening our superpower. Thank you.